It's important to consider how lockdown has had an effect on both the coaches and our athletes. Now, it is possible that people will be anxious about returning to training and unsure what to expect as they've been away from the environment for so long. Although certain restrictions are gradually being eased, and as we've gone back to start delivering school sport again, especially within the school sector, it's really clear that from the lack of social, emotional and psychological engagement some of our athletes will have, that the mental health is going to be a really big concern during our early transition back to training. Taken from the Indian Psychiatry Society, and it says that since India went into lockdown, cases of mental health have risen by 20% across the country. Again, this is just an indication of the impact that COVID has had on the lives of many people. And again, it's just that consideration of how we need to address this and what we can do to address this and help our athletes once we return to training. Now, this one is probably more predominant within our training sessions, because we're going to look to set achievable goals. Now, when our athletes come back, they might have lost a little bit of strength, a little bit of speed, maybe ball control, ball manipulation work. So it's about setting those achievable, manageable, individual goals that will help those individual players achieve their overall outcome. We can also encourage the eating of healthy diets. So by getting the right nutrition into our bodies, this again will help us in our return to training phase and also help us when we're looking to achieve our individual goals. Another one at the bottom there is sleep patterns. And we know that the body needs rest and time to recharge. So by getting regular sleep and having a regular pattern, this again will help build us back up into the right mindset and state of mind for our return. And just to conclude on our mental health section here, again, this is just an overview of some of the benefits of participating in sport and physical and activity can have. Now, we know that the benefits include the body in not only a psychological way, but also from a mental health point of view. And that participating in regular exercise and certainly activities that are cardiovascular based and aerobic based will help to reduce stress hormones, so that help to reduce cortisol, but it will increase the body's natural feel-good chemicals. So through the release of endorphins, serotonin and dopamine, this will naturally provide the body with a feel-good boost. It can help people feel better within themselves. So when designing your return to training sessions, look at ways that you can include that cardiovascular exercise, as this will help to release those endorphins within your athletes. Now, as your athletes start to return to training, think about what you can visually see. So things in here, the signs and symptoms, coughing, sneezing, maybe breathing difficulties after a few of the exercises. This could be a sign and symptom of COVID. So therefore, you'll need to look at what happens in your training environment, what rules your clubs have got in place, and signpost and advise your athletes accordingly. Now, as the coaches, it's important that you set a good example, you set good practice. So by maintaining that regular hand washing, covering your mouths, not sharing equipment, keeping a safe distance from each other, that will set the right standard for you and your sessions. We suggest starting with unopposed practices first. So making sure that our players are getting lots and lots of ball work, some fitness work as well, but we're doing that in an unopposed way. So for example, the first 2 weeks of our return to training, unopposed, everybody with a ball doing as much ball work as possible. Then we're going to look to gradually increase the defenders and what their role is within the session or the training practice, and we're going to become semi-opposed. So we're gradually increasing what the defenders do. It might be holding areas, holding space, or closing down in that situation. And this is all with a overall vision of returning back to that competitive play environment.